Same as the old boss. Many have argued that society without rulers is impossible because the moment one government collapses or is overthrown, a new government will instantly spring up. In one sense, that is true. If the people continue to adhere to the myth of authority after any upheaval of a particular regime, they will simply create a new set of masters to replace the old set. But the reason for this is neither the necessity of government nor the basic nature of man. What nearly all freedom fighters fail to realize as they rail against tyranny and oppression is that the underlying problem is never the particular people in power. The underlying problem resides in the minds of the people being oppressed, including the minds of most freedom fighters. As long as the people accept the myth of authority, even open revolution will, in the long run, do nothing to reduce oppression. When one group of controllers and exploiters fails, the people will simply set up another. Though few of those who wave their flag on Independence Day may realize it, the level of oppression under King George III, just before the American Revolution, was trivial compared to the current levels of taxation, regulation, and other authoritarian intrusion, coercion, and harassment which routinely occur in the US today. It is easy for people to see specific injustices committed in the name of a particular regime, but far more difficult for those same people to recognize that the root cause of such injustice is the belief system of the general public. History books are full of examples of long, bloody reigns of tyrants, followed by at last a bloody revolution, followed by the anointing of a new tyrant. The type of tyrant may change: a monarch replaced with a communist regime, or a right wing tyrant replaced by a left wing tyrant, an oppressive theocracy replaced by an oppressive populist regime, and so on. But as long as the belief in authority remains, so will oppression. Even the most heinous examples of man's inhumanity to man, committed in the name of authority, rarely persuade anyone to question the idea of authority per se. Instead, it leads them to oppose a particular set of tyrants. As a discouraging example, much of the most fervent resistance to the Nazis came from the communists, who themselves advocated for a form of oppression just as vicious and destructive as Hitler's regime. Due to their authoritarian mindset, the Germans had no chance to achieve peace or justice, as their entire national debate was concerned with only which kind of all-powerful rulers should be in charge, without even a hint of the possibility that no one should have such power. The public discourse has been similar throughout most of the world, throughout most of time, focusing on who should rule instead of questioning whether there should be rulers at all.